Hello, Kiersten. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited to chat about all things hair and makeup on wedding days. But first, can you tell the audience who you are, who you work for, like what your business is, and which areas you serve?
Yeah, so my name's Kiersten. I am a professional hair and makeup artist, and I work with True Beauty Marks, which is a Doylestown and Easton based company, so Pennsylvania, but we service the tri state. I mean, I've been New Jersey, New York, Delaware, Maryland, everywhere. So anywhere that anyone wants to send me, that's where we service.
Amazing. How did you get into doing, in general, hair and makeup, not even weddings?
Yeah, I've always loved it. I mean, I grew up a real girl's girl. I've always been like the one that people go to for hair and makeup. But I decided to take the traditional route and go to college. So I actually have a degree in art therapy. And then in between my undergrad and my master's, I decided to go back to beauty school because I was like, why not? You know, I'm young, I'm living life, I might as well do it. Who knows if at some point in my life I might need it. So after I had my daughter, I was going through some just postpartum stuff. And I decided that I just needed to leave my job that I was working, which I was working with children with autism. So as you can imagine, just very hard on just mentally and everything. So I was like, well, I have this to fall back on. So I just kind of was getting my name out there, connecting with people, doing hair and makeup for friends and family and things like that. And that's really how I got my start in the industry.
Amazing. That's so cool. I didn't know you had a degree in art therapy.
I do, yeah. I studied it, and I didn't finish my master's, but like I said, I was working with children with autism, and it was a great time in my life. I mean, it's made me the person I am today, but I definitely don't miss it.
Yes, I totally know what you mean. I
Yeah,
feel the same way. I studied photojournalism, so that's how I got my
yeah.
start into photography. And it was a fantastic time of my life, and I learned so much, but I'm also very glad that I'm not doing that today.
Exactly, exactly. Moving on is the best part.
Yes, 100%. So, how did you get started in bridal hair and makeup with weddings?
Yeah, like I said, kind of the same situation that I just talked about is after I had my daughter, I decided to just like see what's out there, you know, and I feel very lucky that True Beauty Marks, which is the company I work for at that time, was hiring. And I just randomly threw the owner Gina an email and I was like, hey, like I have this on my background. I don't know if you want to take a chance on me, but like I would love it if you would. And she did. And that's how I do it. And now I've been doing it now for 8+ years professionally. So quite some time.
That's amazing. What's like
Yeah.
one of your favorite parts about getting to do wedding hair and makeup full time?
I'm a true girl's girl. So I think just like being in that space in the morning time, it's so different because I feel like with like photography, you guys are in when we're out kind of, you know, but seeing just like the whole party come together is really my favorite part.
Yeah, the wedding mornings for specifically a bride and her bridesmaids, I would say, is such a special atmosphere.
It
Like,
is.
you don't get that amount of like giddiness and
I know it.
support and like just joy between girls that
Yes.
often.
I
You know what I
know. And
mean?
it really like dictates the entire day. Like
It
I
does.
always I always joke like I can tell when a wedding is gonna be a banger based on just how the morning went, you know? So yeah.
100%. And then the photographers arrive like when everybody's pretty much all done with their hair and makeup and they
Exactly.
they know it's like the day's about
They're
to really
confident,
get
they're feeling
started.
it.
So it's like
Exactly.
peak morning excitement.
Exactly, exactly.
That's amazing. And you're also, I don't know if this is the right way to qualify it, you're like the top tier hair and makeup
Yeah,
artist. What does
yeah.
that mean?
Okay, so within our company, True Beauty Marks, we have three different levels. So lead is the girls that are kind of new with us now, just taking on brides. In order to be like a lead artist, you have to be able to do hair and makeup within our company. Then the next step up from that is senior artist. So that's the girls that have been with us for a few years, you know, and then there's master artist. So there's two of us. So I feel very fortunate that I'm a master artist within the company and I've worked my way up to that. And yeah,
That's very cool.
yeah,
Okay, so you're a master artist in the company. You've kind of switched gears, but you love what you're doing now.
I do. Hmm.
What exactly do you do on a wedding day?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much leading up to a wedding day, just in terms of getting to know the bride. So with a master artist, I'll just like speak into that. I do a Zoom with my bride, so it's really just a great chance to just do that initial like contact. Hey, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about the weddings, and it really like helps just bring the vibe in. So then by the time the wedding day comes, I feel like my bride's best friend, you know. So obviously hair and makeup on the wedding day. I like to like bring the calming energy. I like to bring it like that way. Yeah, it's just a great time.
Totally.
Yeah.
What do you like to talk about with your brides on the Zoom call before the wedding day even happens?
Yeah, so I like to go through like logistics of where's the wedding, tell me a little bit about the vibe, but I really like to focus it on how I can prep them for the wedding day. So like what can I give you from my expertise to help you feel you're coming in here the most confident. So I'll ask them about their skincare routine, their hair care routine, if they need any product recommendations, if I can connect them with anyone that I know in the industry that is either like a skincare specialist or vice versa. So that's kind of it. And then I like to just get the vibe of kind of what they're hoping for. So, like, what kind of makeup style are you looking for? What kind of hairstyle are you looking for? That kind of stuff.
What kind of things are you seeing for a lot of brides who are needing maybe a little bit of extra advice or help with either skincare routine or hair care routine leading up to the wedding? Like, is there like a common thing where you're like, oh, definitely try to do this?
I notice just a lot of brides. We're kind of like at that weird time where we have people who take care of their skin really well and people who don't take care of their skin at all. So I feel like a lot of the questions that I have are the brides like, I don't do anything skincare. Like, where should I start? So basically, just the traditional. Well, clean your face first of all, and add a moisturizer and an SPF, and then we can go from there. So that's kind of it.
That's so funny. I think I
Yeah,
would fall into that category of
yeah.
like I clean my face when I shower, and then sometimes I clean my face at night, but not all the time.
I know
So
it, and it's so hard to do. It's so hard to like commit that time to it, but like leading up to a wedding, it is so important.
definitely. And I know there's
Yeah.
so much you can do for skincare. Actually, my
Hmm.
girls group chat is like going off right now because somebody just has like a skin barrier protection thing that they added to their
Yeah,
skincare
I
routine.
love it. I love
Yeah, so all
it.
the things. But yeah, I guess comforting to hear that there are brides on all parts of the spectrum, brides who are like super
100%.
into their skincare routine, and then some who are
Hmm.
like, I do nothing, please help.
Yes, yes. And I notice a lot too with like the up and coming, I guess we could say like TikTok or just like social media experts, we can call them, of just skincare is a lot of brides either use too much or they don't use enough or they're using products that are not good for their barrier, like we were just talking about, and it's actually destroying it. So obviously a lot of that we can discuss like when we meet for a bridal trial, but kind of just having that conversation with them of like, okay, well, what do you do, and is it important, should we be doing it, should we be continuing it, what are you noticing, so that kind of stuff.
Amazing. Is
Yeah.
there any part of like a bridal look, either hair or makeup, that a lot of brides are like surprised about whenever it happens on wedding day?
I feel like the amount of makeup, and I know this is like a conversation that a lot of makeup artists have, but even when you're like looking at the most natural makeup, they have makeup on. And I think that's the biggest shocking factor is like, you don't need that. If you're going to tell me you don't want to wear foundation, I'm not going to put foundation on you. But at the same time, if you want like a true bridal experience, we have to put makeup on. Not to say we have to. I mean, it's their wedding day, but you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the biggest shocking is that part. And then also to go off of that, like the amount of time it takes. I think people really underestimate how long of an experience this is. It's not a 10-minute face you're doing in the morning.
How long does it take, like on average, or like a range?
Yeah, I mean it depends obviously on the look that they're going for, or I would say I like to give about 40 minutes per service. So if you think of that for hair and makeup, about an hour and a half ish, you know, for just like one person. So not your 10-minute face that you would do on your typical morning.
Totally.
Yeah.
And what all goes into that, like length of time? Because, I mean, you need your hair makeup to stay pretty much put, like for
Hmm.
many hours through,
Yeah,
if it's a summer wedding, the humidity, if it's
exactly.
possibly raining, some moisture.
Exactly.
What are some things that you're thinking about that goes into like bridal hair makeup versus like just any regular day getting ready?
Yeah, I think because of, I'm going to talk makeup first, but I think because of the amount of product that you use, people don't realize how much skin prep needs to go into it. So it's not just slapping on a moisturizer, it's like actually making sure we're working the product into the skin. And then also like a lot of light layers, which I'm sure everyone has seen the TikTok videos of makeup artists doing makeup at this point, but a lot of it is just building and building and building and building, which takes time. I can't just like slap something on you and it's the finished product. Like we need to build it up, and that's what's going to help with longevity. And then for hair, also prep. I mean, 90% of the work is prep, and prep is not easy. I always leave a wedding feeling like I just left the gym. Like my shoulders are on fire from the amount of hair and work and different angles and moving and everything like that. So a lot of it is prep, and then the like 10% is actually styling the hair. So it's all just like these tiny little steps that we're working up to overall make sure that it lasts for 8, 12, however many hours you need it to.
That's amazing. I feel like most wedding vendors can agree that leaving a wedding day is like leaving the gym.
I know it. I always call it the post-wedding weekend hangover,
It is.
especially if we have like three, because sometimes you could do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever. Monday, don't even ask me a question. Like I'm not waking up, I'm not answering a text, I'm not answering an email. I am severely hungover on my couch, hoping to get some
Yes.
sips of water in. Yeah.
And you have very early mornings oftentimes,
Yeah.
right? What's like
Yeah.
some of like the earliest mornings you've had for wedding days?
Um, I I always joke that I'm very I need my sleep. So if I can like add an extra artist and not wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to do that. But I have had like a 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, which I mean, where I live, a lot of places that I have to go to is like an hour, hour and a half away. So that means I'm leaving my house at whatever time, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So definitely early, but it feels nice because I get to come home and sleep. I don't have to do anything
Right.
the rest of the day. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you like get it all done with it, it's just chill.
Exactly.
But
It's
still,
like
that's
I was just gonna say, I always joke that it's like two parts of the day. You have like your wedding morning, you're like totally spaced out on the way home. You come home, take a nap, and you're like, oh, it's still Saturday. Let's go do something.
very nice way to wake up from a nap.
Exactly, exactly.
That's amazing. Okay, I have another question for you. I
Hmm.
have naturally curly hair, and I
Yes.
feel like a lot of bride styles that I photograph, many brides don't keep either naturally wavy or naturally curly hair.
Yeah.
Do you
Hmm.
see brides doing that? And if so, like what's the popular way to style that sort of hair?
Yeah.
Like what goes into it?
I think because curly hair has become more popular and people wearing their natural hair curls, it definitely has become a thing where brides will come in with their hair naturally curly. And I mean, prep that goes into it and style wise, you want to treat it like curls need hydration if we're going to like really get into the logistics of it. Curls need hydration. So it's wetting down the hair, it's adding the right product, it's diffusing the hair to get rid of frizz. Like there's a lot of steps that go into that where it's not just curling with a curling iron and moving on. I mean, there are times where I'll go through in detail if I need to, just like a piece, like a curl that's not curling the right way. But I notice a lot of curly brides either wear like fully down or they'll do like I don't know how to describe this, but like a Bridgerton hairstyle. Like when I think of
Yes.
curly hair, yeah, when I think of curly hair, I think of like the Bridgerton, just like um, volume, just very natural, like thrown up, like you just woke up, like this kind of vibes. And that's what I see when I normally get my curly hair brides.
That's very interesting you say that because I've been looking at Pinterest for my wedding because I want to keep my
Yes.
hair curly. And a
Yes.
lot of the curly hair inspiration I see is that like high piled curly hair
Exactly.
bun, Bridgerton style with like a lot of little tendrils hanging
Yeah.
down all
Yeah.
around, not just in front, but like even in the back of like the nape of your neck,
Yes.
tendrils
Yes.
hanging
Which,
down.
like, if I'm going to give my opinion, obviously it depends on like when the wedding is. But if you think of how naturally curly hair reacts to weather in a rainstorm or humidity or whatever, having it up kind of contains that a little bit. So unless you're like ready to embrace the full crazy fro that your hair can get to with naturally curly hair, definitely having some type of shape in there, like structured shape, is a good thing.
Yes, yeah, curly hair is notoriously dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
But it's beautiful. It's so beautiful in its own way. But yeah, it's very temperamental.
Yes, when it works, it's fantastic. But there are
Exactly.
lots of times when it just
It just doesn't
doesn't.
work. And that's when
Yes.
I go in with my really tiny curling iron and I make those curls work.
Amazing. Oh, I love that. Okay, can you talk about the different types of like services or packages that a bride can get from True Beauty Marks for their wedding?
Yeah. So, like I said before, we have our different levels of artists. So, with that comes not only more experience, but I guess you could say more perks. So, I'll speak specifically on master artist because that's mostly like what my weddings are. But with that, I'll do a Zoom with my brides, which I don't do with like my typical brides. And then on the wedding day, I do extra skincare. So, I'm really making sure I'm massaging products into your face. I'm doing under eye patches. I'm really focusing on hydration. And then sometimes I'll stay if the bride requests for me to stay, but if not, I do leave a touch up kit, which includes like everything you'll need throughout the day. So hairspray, setting spray, makeup sponges, powder puff, lipstick, everything that you would need throughout the day. So that's really that part of it. And then on top of it, you get like our top tier artist as our supporting artist. So we're not going to have someone that is either filling in for the team or coming in blindly or newly for our team. You're going to have someone that like knows their stuff basically.
Amazing. And that
Yeah.
kit that you leave behind, is that just
Mm-hmm.
like the brides to keep then?
Yeah. I do a cute little baggie and I give her all of her stuff and I say, who do you want me to give this to that they are in charge of making sure you look good the entire night? And I give it to that person and I say, everything that she will need is in this kit. And if it's not, hopefully the coordinator or the planner has it.
That's so nice because I feel like
Yeah.
there's so many different times of the day where it's like you can totally
Yeah.
use a touch up,
Touch
especially if
up.
you're crying or if you're sweating,
Exactly.
which
Exactly.
happens in a
Exactly.
lot of weddings.
Exactly. Or I always like recommend like making sure before your first look. Obviously, I'm usually there before the first look anyways, making sure like your lipstick is still good for the first look right before the ceremony and then like right before you go out for your first dance. And then I feel like the rest of the night it's like, okay, I don't care what I look
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
It's just dance party from there on
Exactly.
out.
Exactly. That's when I get the pictures of like the brides with their hair and like a big bun on top of their head and I'm like, I spent 45 minutes doing your hair.
Oh my gosh. How does that feel? Like, is that if you see a picture of like a bride dancing at her reception and her hair is like just pulled back completely from what it was at the
I
beginning
love
of the
it.
day?
I love it. I love
Because
it.
it's,
Like, girl, I know you're having fun. Yeah.
yes, I feel like it's the same thing with like a dress or like shoes or anything like that. It's
Exactly.
like comfort at that point is key because you just want to have
Exactly.
so much fun.
Exactly. And that's what the day should be about anyway. So,
Totally. So,
yeah.
okay, speaking of the day being about fun, what would you
Mhm.
say to brides who are a little bit more on the nervous, anxious type A side, who are really worried that either they're going to cry their makeup off, they're going to sweat their makeup off? What would you say to a bride who's worried about that?
I think just like reassurance is like a good thing. Like, coming empathetically towards them and being like, well, no, you'll be fine. Is not the right answer, you know, like coming at them, well, here's your touch up if you need it. Like, I'm going to teach this person how to touch up if you need it. I always like to tell my brides, like, I'm a collaborative person. I will tell you exactly what you need to do if something happens. So, like, giving the tips of like, if for some reason you do cry your makeup off, take your little makeup sponge, dab that thing on there, put some powder on, and you'll be okay. Like, so I don't know if that really answers the question, but definitely, yeah, it definitely is just like reassurance. I think of like it's all going to be okay, you know?
Totally. Yeah, because it all
Yeah,
will be okay and
it will
it's
be.
also nice to know that like the touch-up kit is there for a reason
Exactly.
and that all
Exactly.
the things in there are put in there with purpose. So,
Exactly.
you have a
Intention. I have it
fix.
tattooed on my arm because it is my word of intention. Everything that I do as an artist is intentional. So
I love that so very much.
thank you.
Wow. Okay, I have a couple questions for you like moving forward into 2026. Do
Hmm.
you have any predictions for like either hair and or makeup trends that we're going to see? I guess maybe 2026, 2027.
Yeah, I think what I'm noticing, because obviously I've already been meeting some of my 2026 brides, I think what I've been noticing is we're moving away from that like clean girl era that we've been in for a few years at this point, it feels like. And we're going into more of like, well, I want to look like I'm wearing makeup. I want to look like an elevated version of myself. And that's with hair and makeup. I feel like they're a little bit more, I guess we can say, like, understanding that it's like, this is my wedding day and I want to feel special, you know? So I don't know if that really translates into trends, but definitely more of that, like, I'm going to have makeup on my face and I'm okay with it. And I'm okay if my hair is not perfectly placed into this tiny little updo. You know, I think there's a lot just, I guess, freeing is what I'm seeing in like trends.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost contradictory where brides are saying like, I want to look like I have makeup on. I want to feel special. I want to look extra, extra beautiful today. But at the same time, I don't care if my hair is out of place and I don't care if it's not
Exactly.
like perfect. That's really
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think a lot of like what I'm seeing trending is just like the elevated version of like every day, you know, like I want to feel like myself. I want to feel like who I feel like on the regular. And I don't feel, at least for my brides, I mean, I'm just speaking primarily on that, but I feel like a lot of them don't feel like on the regular, they're very put together in this tiny little box, you know? So I think that's kind of what they're embracing.
Very cool. And
Yeah.
I feel like I would kind of be in that similar camp as a 2026 bride. Like I do want to
Yeah.
feel like myself. I don't want to
Exactly.
feel like a different version of me. Like
Exactly.
I just want to
Yeah,
feel like me and then be able to enjoy the day however it happens and not worry
exactly.
about anything.
Exactly. But that's so hard to do.
It's so hard to
It's so
do.
hard to do.
It's always the goal, but I feel like
Uh-huh.
it's a nice like check-in to have with yourself throughout the day. Like, okay,
Exactly.
I'm getting married today. That's all that matters.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's just going to be a big party and we're going to be married and it's the best day of my life.
Yes. I love
Yes.
that. Love
Yeah.
that. Big, big happy going into 2026.
Big happy. We love big happy.
Yes. Um, okay. Do you have like a frequently asked question that you get from brides that we didn't already cover?
um, do I have one? I feel like a lot of it is just timeline. Like that's majority of my questions. Is like, do I actually need that much time for our whole party to get ready? And I'm like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Sorry, like there's no other option there. I feel like that's the traditional question that I get. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to have like a solid plan for the morning of the wedding
exactly,
because if you are going the professional hair and makeup route, that requires time, especially if there's a bridal party involved or moms
exactly,
involved. Um,
exactly.
so you want to make sure you're in like a nice, comfortable space with lots of space,
Lots of
uh,
space, tables, windows,
tables.
chairs. Yeah, the amount of times I've gone into a hotel room and there's like a tiny side table and they're like, "Well, you could sit up here, right?" I'm like, "I have four bags and one of them is a suitcase that I'm bringing with me. That's not enough space."
Yes, I feel like the photographers and the hair and makeup artists always roll in both with
I
suitcases.
know it. I know it. I look crazy. I'm like straight bag lady on a wedding morning.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
There's lots to carry in. I feel like
exactly.
the wedding or the hotel has been a very common thing to do wedding mornings.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
kind of hoping there's a shift into more like Airbnbs for the wedding morning,
100%. It makes
just
so much more
because
sense.
not
Yeah.
only is it better for you because there's more space to
Mhm.
do what you need to do, and
Mhm.
it's better for me to have like wonderful, beautiful, natural light lit photos of
Exactly.
the getting ready morning.
Exactly.
I feel
Mhm.
like having space impacts like the mental state that you're in the morning of the wedding.
100%.
If you're able to
100%.
spread out and breathe and have like a room dedicated to like stuff and then
Yes.
have a room dedicated to getting
Yes.
ready and hanging out
It's
and the
huge.
mimosas. It's
Exactly.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I also want this experience for you to be like calming. And if you're all on top of each other, it's not calming. So, yeah.
Yes. 100%. And I feel like a lot of Philly esque venues have timeline restrictions for the morning
Oh,
of the wedding.
100%.
So,
Mhm.
like elsewhere, I feel like you would just get ready at the venue and then
Exactly.
like just stay there all day, and that's that.
Exactly.
There's a bridal
Exactly.
suite, and a lot of these
Mhm.
Philly venues have bridal suites,
But you
but
can't get
maybe
into
don't.
them.
Yeah, they maybe
Mhm.
not say at the beginning, like, oh, you can't get into
Mhm.
this. It's 6
Mhm.
a.m. when you need to start hair and makeup. Uh,
Exactly.
it's
And then the
only for
brides come back to me. Yeah. And they're
yes,
like,
and they're like,
well,
ah,
I just found out I can't get in until an hour before I like have to be ready. And I'm like, can you do 17 hair and makeups in that time? And it's like, no, I'm so sorry. I can't. We got to figure out another option.
yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that there's more like just I guess education out there for
100%.
couples getting married. Like this could be what you might need to do on wedding day, and if so,
Exactly.
definitely consider like a
Knowing
whole
that.
extra
Yeah.
space.
And
Yeah.
like you said, like I feel like a lot of brides are so unaware of that, where it's either they can't get in until 10 o'clock or an hour before they have to pay an extra however much money. And I mean, I know it's a wedding day and it's just adding up, adding up, adding up. But like, if you don't have to have that expense, why have it, you know? And I think it goes part to wedding venues and vendors of just having that open conversations with our brides and our couples of just like what the real expectation should be.
Yeah, I feel like being super open from the get go is definitely the best way to go
A hundred
because
percent.
for a lot of these couples, it's their first time planning a
A hundred
wedding.
percent.
So
100%.
there's so much that they don't know. So trying to just
Exactly.
like over explain at the beginning, like this is
Exactly.
all that you could expect to be going through,
Exactly.
helps
And
a lot.
yeah, it needs to be there needs to be a shift in that of just like these are what to expect for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for brides who are maybe on the fence about having professional hair and makeup done for their wedding, what would you say? Because you're obviously biased, you do hair and makeup, and you
I
do it
do.
really,
Yes.
really well.
Thank you.
What would you say to maybe say like, if you are considering doing professional hair and makeup, and you're not totally
Mhm.
against it, here are things to think about.
I think the biggest thing that you can think about is it's such a special day, and why not pamper yourself? Like, this is your one excuse to have someone come in and treat you like a princess or a queen or however you want to be thought of that day, you know? I think, yeah, it's a lot of money, and I totally get that part of it, but I think you cannot underestimate the just getting pampered, you know, having someone else to just help you and ease you. And that's why you do a trial run. So you go into the wedding day and you know you're going to be happy. Like, I just think being able to sit there and relax and one less thing to worry about than like, is my eyeliner going to be perfect today? Knowing that a professional is going to come in and make your eyeliner perfect, I think is 100% worth every single penny that you could spend on it.
That's such a great answer because it really is a big weight off of the chest that like
100%.
you may not know that you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you just let like I feel like a wedding day really is just let the professionals do it.
Exactly. And trust your professionals for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be in a headspace starting the day where like, okay, I'm getting this big
I
thing
know I don't have to worry
taken
about
care
this.
of. I don't have to worry about it. I can
Exactly.
trust it and then just
Mm-hmm.
focus on saying I do and then
Yeah.
dancing and
I've
partying.
had many brides who have opted to either do their own hair or makeup on their wedding day, but I'll still be there getting like their bridal party ready. And they'll come up to me and be like, can you just do my makeup for me? Like, I can't focus. And that has happened more than a handful of times. So it's like, I've seen it, I've lived it. And I think just like allowing yourself to be in that place where you can be pampered and waited on is like the greatest thing you could do for yourself.
I love that answer so much.
Yeah,
I was
good.
in that camp of not being sure just because I'm not a
Yeah,
big makeup person.
I know
I
it.
want my hair staying natural.
Yeah,
But after, I mean, just witnessing so many weddings and like really
yeah.
thinking about it and what the morning would look like, I am leaning now towards okay, it would be nice to just
It's just sit
trust somebody
there.
else with it, sit there,
Exactly. And I think
zen.
that comes also with like aligning yourself with an artist that does what you want. You know, like as someone who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, going to someone who, um, uh, sorry, specifically does like glam makeup, you're not going to get your results. So I think like doing your research and finding someone who aligns with kind of how you see yourself as an artist is like the biggest thing you could do for yourself.
That's amazing. Have a
Yeah.
lot of couples found true beauty marks or found you through Instagram or through word of mouth? Like what's the biggest way people find you?
I would say it's a really big like mix. I feel very lucky to have a decent Instagram following, so I feel like a lot of my work does come from people strolling onto my like page and finding me. But I we also have a really great like platform kind of thing in the background. So we have like the knot and wedding wire, which we got a lot of brides from. And then a lot of our brides are like they were in a bride's like in a wedding with us doing their hair and makeup, or a friend of a friend used us for do their hair and makeup and they asked for recommendations. So I can't say that there's one specific that's like leans one way or the other. I think it's really just like a culmination of all of them.
Amazing. That's very cool. I
Yeah.
feel like it's the same for
Yeah.
me. It's just like all different sorts of ways that people
Exactly.
come
And
and
it's like,
find.
as a vendor in 2026, it's also very like stressful because it's like, well, I have to keep up with this and I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to have a social media presence because you never know when that's going to attract the right person, you know?
Absolutely. But it is so nice. Like I have to remind myself, like it is very nice to be in the age of social media where people can
Yes,
research very easily and
exactly.
find like a vendor that they really do align with if they don't
Exactly.
have friends who've gotten married before yet or
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
don't
Or
really
coming in
align
from like
with
out of town. Yeah.
100%. A
Yeah.
lot of brides I feel like are planning weddings from out of town if their
100%.
families live at a certain
Here. Mm-hmm.
area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a lot of like California brides this year, actually, which is
Very
funny,
cool.
but yeah. I'm like, you could just actually send me to California. I'm fine with
Yeah. I'll
that.
fly out to California for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just pay for my flight. It's fine.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. I have two more questions to
Yeah, let's
round
do it.
out this
Yeah.
podcast episode. The first one is what is your biggest tip for brides planning their wedding, either for the wedding planning or the wedding day?
I think the biggest tip of what I see just like on a wedding day is either hiring a wedding planner who's going to do everything for you or delegate what needs to be done. Because there's so many times where I finally get the bride in my chair and she's like, oh, I gotta go grab this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And I'm like, tell someone to do it for you. Like, this is your day. I think that's like the biggest thing I can give is just like make sure you have people there who are going to support you and do what you tell them to do, basically.
Yeah, and I think it might be hard to get in that mindset of like you will need
100%.
people to delegate to because
Yeah.
I feel like many brides plan their own weddings if they don't have a
Mhm.
wedding planner. And so
Mhm.
everything that needs to get done is in their brains. They don't realize
Exactly.
that it's not visible to anybody
Yes.
else.
100%.
So
100%.
having a wedding planner or
Mhm.
like a 6 month coordinator even
Exactly. Exactly.
takes such a big weight off your chest because they
Exactly.
then like know what to do before you do
Mhm.
and they handle
Mhm.
things out of sight. So if anything
Exactly.
were to like go quote unquote wrong, you know what I
Wrong.
mean?
Yeah.
Like which
Yeah.
always happens on a wedding day. There's always
Exactly.
something
There's
that just
never
doesn't match
nothing
up.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But they can then handle it for you. Or like if you share a lot of your like day of to-dos with your maid of honor or all your bridesmaids
Exactly.
and be like, I need help doing all of
Exactly.
this, it
Exactly.
it really helps. And so I think that's a very good thing to know going into the day that you will
Mhm.
need help. You can't just put your
You can't just
brain
do it on
onto
your own.
paper. Yeah,
It's too big of a task to just do it on your own, and it's okay to
it
ask for
is.
help. It's okay to delegate that to someone, and it's okay to say you don't like something and you want it differently. Like, it's all okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
all of it is okay. And everybody's like okay with it all. Like everybody wants
Exactly.
you to be so happy and enjoy the day to the
Exactly.
fullest. Like that is
Exactly.
everybody's number one
Everyone is
goal.
there to support you in this moment and make sure that you're happy, and that is what we're here to do. And if that requires you telling us what we need to do, great. Please tell me.
Yes, same. I'm the
Yes.
same way.
Yes.
Amazing. And then last question. I had a videographer, I don't know if you know Brian from Enchant Cinema. He was
I
on the
feel like I do.
podcast.
Hmm.
I feel like he does a lot of weddings, so you've probably
Yeah.
crossed
Yeah.
paths with him.
Yeah.
He asked me this question at the end of the episode where we chatted, and I was like, I need to ask every single vendor this question.
I love it.
So the question is, do you have a recurring wedding stress dream?
Do I? Okay, so my biggest dream that I have is that I like got to a wedding and I didn't bring my makeup brushes. And it stresses me out. Honestly, I don't really sleep the night before weddings, which is probably not good for my mental health. But I will stop the car like 5 times on my way to a wedding because I dreamed that I left my makeup brushes at home, and that would like, how would I do my job? I would be like painting with my fingers at that point, and I don't want to do that. So definitely either leaving my makeup brushes or like, yeah, that's my biggest fear.
That's, I mean, a horrible dream to have, but also
Exactly.
very funny that I feel like everybody I ask, they're like, oh yeah, this is my wedding stress dream.
Yeah. This is it. This is how I know it's wedding season. As I dreamed, I left my makeup brushes at home. Yeah.
Yes. And my wedding stress dream is that I like forget that I'm like photographing a wedding halfway through. Like I'll like
Oh,
go get ice cream with my friend and be like,
yeah.
oh no, I missed the ceremony after
That's so
doing
funny.
getting ready photos.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so funny. They're like, oh, I'm just done for the day. That's so funny.
Crazy. Yes, which would never happen. So that's a good thing about my stress dream is it's like not
Exactly.
possible.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, mine is very possible. And that's why
Yes.
I'm just hyper aware of, okay, I have all of my bags in the car and I like make sure I'm doing something. I don't know if you know this, but like if you're doing something at the time that you need to remember something, it kind of helps you remember. So like I'll be in like my car and I'll be like checking something and I'll be like fidgeting with my finger because I'm like, okay, I remember fidgeting with my finger. And I remember fidgeting with my finger when I was looking in my bags. I'm crazy. We're just going to say that.
That's really cool. I actually did
Yeah.
not know that. So
Yeah.
like
A
kind
lot
of
of,
like assigning
yeah,
like training your
something
brain.
exactly, something to like help. Like if you think of like fidgets, you know, it kind of helps you focus. So like fidgeting or like sometimes I'll like click, like make like a clicky noise.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think I'm like I do this. I kind of like
I
rub my
do.
fingernails. That's my
Yeah.
like focus thing that I
Mine is like
just
I
do.
like do this with my fingers. That's mine.
Oh, that's funny. I don't think I can do that.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious. But hey, anything that helps us,
Anything that works. Exactly.
yeah, it
Exactly.
works. Oh,
That's so
well,
funny.
thank you so much for chatting. It was so lovely to have you on the show.
And thank you so much for asking me. It was really fun. It was fun.
I'm so glad, and I hope we get to work together again soon.
I know it. I know it's been like too long.
It's been too
Let's just
long.
do
It
it.
was, I think it was what, fall, summer 2024. Yeah, year and a half, I think.
Has it been that long?
I think it's been
Yeah,
that long.
it
Crazy.
might
It's a
have been.
beautiful weather we work together, though.
I know it. I know. She's so sweet. I love
She's
her.
the best. Shout out Hannah. We love you. And Connor, her
We
husband.
still talk about you, Hannah.
We still love you. Oh, amazing. Okay, well, thank you so much. Hope to get work together again soon. And have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much.